Guess what time it is? Garden time. Ooh, Lord, that ground's hard. I can only go a little bit at a time. I don't want to mess something up. But this is what we got so far. I don't know if you can see the edge of it's over here. Well, actually over here on for y'all. I'm gonna go over another time or two over the same spot, and I think I'm gonna go out a little bit further. Not much further. I don't need a real big one, but yeah. So that's what we got so far. Let's get back to it. Well, we got our garden done. Don't look too bad if you ask me. Let's go get we're gonna go till a garden from my dad, and then we got to bring a tiller to my grandpa so he can do his garden too. So yeah, we ain't done yet. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So as you can hear, probably, we are getting some rain. We need it. It's kind of dry, but I don't want too much, just a little bit. Now, obviously, as you can tell, Mother Nature has turned her air conditioner back on. It has cooled off pretty good bit, not too much. It's really just about right. But this morning we were headed to the nursery to get some plants for the garden. So it's that time of year, time to get underway with the garden. So let's go pick us out some plants, and we'll get them in the ground next day or two. Well, we got us a few plants to go kill at the house. I don't have a real good green thumb, but we're gonna try to grow them. If they die, we'll just come buy some more. No big deal. All right, y'all, so we made it home. We got our plants here. We're gonna come over here to this garden that we tilled up yesterday, and we're gonna drive us a few stakes. You can see the stakes on the ground. We're gonna drive one on the edge, on both ends, and we're gonna pull us a string to keep our rows straight. It don't matter too awful much, but you don't want them just to be crooked. You just want them to look good, you know. All right, so we got the first string pulled, and you can really tell how crooked I tilled this garden. I did not do a real good job there, but them plants ain't gonna have no clue that garden's crooked. So now I'm gonna go down this string right here, and I'm gonna take my garden hoe and I'm gonna dig my little holes. You know, there is 1.5 million ways to do a garden, really and truly. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. You know, the less manual labor, the better, honestly. You know, I don't even eat half of the stuff that I grow. I just don't care for it. I just grow it and like to give it to my grandparents or just give it to somebody that might want it or need it, you know. So I'm not gonna put no more time than I absolutely have to in it. Yeah, you can make these big pretty tall rows and all that, and that's great, it looks great. But at the end of the day, the plants don't really know that they're in a row. All they know is they're in the ground and they can grow. So I'm just gonna dig some holes down through here and just put the plants in. It's simple as that. So we got all the holes dug on this first row right here. We ended up with 16 holes on this first row, which is absolutely perfect because each tray of plants has 4 plants in each tray. So there's 4 different types of peppers. I always plant my peppers on this first row and they always grow good. So 4 times 4 is 16, common math. So that worked out just perfect. So before we start putting all these in, we're gonna go ahead and move over about 3.5 foot, stretch our string, dig our holes on this next row. Well, I did make one rookie mistake. Y'all check out what shoes I'm wearing. My Hey Dudes. Deep dirt and Hey Dudes, especially if they have welding holes in them, they don't go together, not at all. Well, 2 rows down. Let's put another 1, 2. We can put another 2. Except this time, we're gonna do it the fast way. Y'all ready? Well, bam. There's my pretty rows. Now, y'all might be noticing these few holes right here is kind of far apart, and there's a reason for that. I always plant my cucumber plants in these first 4 holes. Cucumber plants has to lay down and run, so I always spread them out a little bit further than I do these. That way they have room to run and I can see what's going on. Now back here, these back 4 holes back here, I had more tomato plants than I thought, so them back 4 is gonna be tomato plants along with the ones on this row. So let's get these in the ground, shall we? So the first thing I'm gonna do is take some of this fertilizer I have. I have some granulated lime in this, and I have some 888 fertilizer in this bucket. I'm gonna take a little small handful of this lime, put it in the hole, and a little bit less 888, put it in the hole, and then I'm gonna put enough dirt in that hole just to cover that fertilizer. That way it don't burn the plants. If it's too rich, it'll burn them little plants when they're that small and kill them. So then on top of that dirt, I'll take one of these plants, I'll put it in the hole, backfill it, and then kind of just mash the dirt around it. Not real tight, just enough to where the roots have something to grab a hold of. And then you've got yourself a plant in the ground. Well, we've got the first 2 in. We've only got about, I don't know, 4 million more to go. So let's do it. Well, 1 row complete. We got all of our pepper plants in. except for one. I forgot to tell y'all about this. I don't know, a few years ago, I guess it is, I started taking these Beefmaster tomatoes, and in the same hole that I planted these tomatoes, I would plant some cayenne peppers with these, and they're gonna cross-pollinate under the ground, and it makes these tomatoes, makes them have some spice to them. So it really makes a good salsa or something along them lines that, you know, that has some heat. Just something I started doing. Well, ta-da. That seems to be all the plants I had. I actually had 4 more plants than I accounted for. So way back here in this back corner, I dug 4 more holes, set them plants. I think it was, oh, I forgot about my 4 eggplant plants. So yeah, we got them back there in the back corner. We're fixing to stretch a water hose over here, hook a sprinkler up, and let that sprinkler start setting them plants in, start melting that fertilizer and get them to growing. I almost got wet doing that. But look, you can see, maybe you can see, it's just getting these last few plants. So it's pretty much where it needs to be. So I'm gonna let it sit there and run for, I don't know, for a while. Well, it's been a good 2 days since we planted this garden. Come out here to look at it, and all the plants seem to be looking good. They all seem to be looking strong, except for like maybe 2 or 3. They're a little puny looking, but they're still trying to get acclimated to this ground. You know, they have to get used to it just like anything else. So we're gonna give them a few more days. We're gonna baby them and make sure they get, you know, make sure they get their feet on the ground, so to say. But if y'all have enjoyed this video and want to see how many of these things actually live, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. I sure do appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next time.